Gridia is a highly customizable multiplayer online role-playing game. All of the graphics, items, monsters, and crafting recipes can be modified to create unique worlds. In a later video, I will discuss how to customize the graphics and content of the world to your liking. In this video, I will show you how to play Gridia. This is an early alpha build, so there are quite a few things that are missing and things that need to be touched up. But I believe the controls are pretty solid, so hopefully this video will stay relevant. A big part of Gridia is the crafting system, so the majority of this video will cover that. I've implemented the bare minimum for combat, but for the most part, that feature is not implemented yet. Okay, let's check out Gridia. Click on the client.exe to start the game. We need a server to connect to, so let's host one on our local machine. Click on the Host Local Server button. But before you do that, make sure you have Java 8 installed on your computer, and make sure you have it in your class path. Check out Google to learn more about that. You can press 1 to choose the demo world, and press 1 again to choose the demo city. Alright, the server is running, and going back to the client, click on Connect to Localhost, and we're in. I already have an account named Houghton set up, so I can just type Houghton in and log right in. There's no password. And I'm in. I can use the WASD keys to move around and the arrow keys to move a selector in the world. The top right corner shows the tab user interface, and I can use that to open and close windows. Let's just keep the inventory open for now. The page up, page down buttons zoom in and out. You can zoom out this far, and you can zoom in indefinitely, but I tend to like it around right here. You can double click on items to equip them, and if we open up our equipment menu, you can see that they go straight there. And you can double click them up here to take them out. Certain items change the graphics on the player, and most items correlate to a graphic that will overlay on your player character. But you may find a few that do not have any image. In order to speak to a character, all you have to do is run into it, and it'll speak to you. There are multiple ways to move items. You can simply use your mouse and click and drag. So you can move items around the world, you can move it to your character, or you can move it straight from the world to a slot in your inventory. Same thing for your inventory. You can move them around, you can move them out. Now, if you want to use the selector, you can highlight the item you want and press Shift to pick it up. You can also hold down Shift and Alt at the same time, and you can move what's selected with the blue selector to the green selector. I implemented this because anytime you have to move your hand from the keyboard to the mouse, things get a lot slower. And once you pick this up, it tends to speed things up quite a bit. So if I want to pick up this hat, I just select it, press Shift. Now you can use the Alt key to use your hand on whatever is selected in the world. So for example, selecting the door and pressing Alt will open it up. Or if you don't have anything selected, for example, if this hat's on the ground and I want to pick it up without using the selector or the mouse, I can just walk over it and press Shift, and it will pick up the item below me. Similarly, you can walk over a door and press Alt to use your hands underneath you. Okay, now we're out in here and we want to chop down a tree. So in the inventory, the selected slot is what item you're currently using. You can either click on an item to change the selected slot, or much simpler, you can press 1, 2, 3, 4 to select the top row. You can also hold down Control and use the arrow keys to move your selected slot. I find this the simplest way to do it. So we need an axe. So we have the axe selected, and we want to chop down a tree. To do that, you highlight the tree with the selector. So you use the arrow keys, and then you press the space bar to use your selected item on it. And it's down. We can also use the axe on a log to make a campfire. And we can use our fire starter here to light it up. If you select the saw, you can make some planks. And if you select the hammer and nails, you have a number of options to choose from. You can use the arrow keys to change your item that you'll make. And the top title menu right here shows you what the name of the product is. I want to make a chair. You can use your hands on the chair itself to reorient it. And let's pick it up. Alright, so that's how you chop down a tree. And I'm gonna try to make a small house in about a minute or two. So the first thing we're gonna do is find a bunch of wood. Let's zoom out a bit. There seems to be a bunch over here. Alright, let's get some wood. We need the axe. Okay, pick it all up. You'll see that I just picked up a pine tree stump, which obviously should not be possible. The reason I was able to do that is that I'm actually the administrator, and so I have special privileges. And one of those include moving items that shouldn't be able to be moved, and I can spawn and create any sort of item I want. Here is the admin control panel, and I can spawn any item in the game, which there are over 3,000 of them in this world. And I can use any floor. There's a few hundred of those. And all in all, counting up all the crafting combinations, there's about over 4,000 of those. So there's quite a bit of content involved in this world. Alright, back to collecting resources. I've got 14 logs. Let's throw those on the ground and make some planks. Alright, we got a number of planks, and we can pick those all up. And if you have an item selected in your inventory and you press Q, you drop a single item in that stack. So I'm just going to lay out the foundation of the house, the small house I'm going to make. It's going to be real small because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Alright, so we got a small square house, 2x2. And we select the hammer and nails to build walls. So up here, let's make a door. Got a door right there. And a horizontal wall. Okay, and these are the vertical walls. Let's make a window right here. And another one right here. And vertical wall, there it is. Some corners. And I'm doing all this with the keyboard. If I were to use the mouse, it would still be possible, but it would take a little bit longer. Alright, so I've got a small house. I can open up the door, leave an exit. And if I select the planks and use the planks as a tool on the ground, I can make some wood floor. Let's get some more wood to finish this up. Wood axe. Okay. Alright, so that's a quick house. Took maybe about a minute, 30 seconds. And the next thing we want to do, I want to show you the farming. So if I equip the plow in my inventory, right here, and similarly when you press shift, you pick up an item below you, or you press Alt to use your hand below you. You can also use spacebar and use the item, use your tool, your selected tool below you. So I can do that, or I can use the selector to do this. And, oh, I picked up some plowed ground, again because I'm an administrator. Okay, and I can use the seeds to plant some items, plant some mana plants. And I can use these seeds to plant some red apple seeds. Now, if we were to sit here and wait maybe 20 minutes or so, I believe that's what I have the time setting to, these trees would grow and have actual apples on them, but the video won't be long enough to see that. Okay, next thing I want to build a raft. So I need some planks. Oops, I just need one plank. Use the hammer and nails, and the raft is right there. Now, if a raft is in my inventory, okay, first of all, if it's not in my inventory, you move quite slowly in water. But if you have it in there, you go actually quite fast. Alright, next thing, let's build a cave. I just used a shovel on the ground and I made a cave entrance, and you stand over it and it takes you down a level. So if you zoom out, you can see that there's a lot of... Oh, that's actually a dungeon. I'll show you that later. There's a lot of stuff you can just mine. You simply walk into it, and if you have a pickaxe in your inventory, you mine the walls away. Let's keep going until we find some ore. Alright, here's some more. Okay, let's pick up that and some of this. And in my inventory I have a coal pit. I can simply set that down by pressing Q and highlight my coal and use that as a tool on the coal pit to fill it up. Get the fire starter and get that started. Now I want to drop the anvil, and I can use the ore and heat it up, or rather I can smelt it, and now I can heat up those sheets. Now I can use those sheets on the anvil, and I have a number of products I can make. I would like a large sword, so let's make that one, and let's make something else. Let's make, oh, that's, not sure why that's an option. Okay, let's make some leggings. And I can press E to equip my highlighted item, or I can double click it like I said before. Let's just press E. Alright. Next item on the list. Let's show you a small Roach minigame that will be up on the alpha server. Oh, looks like the cat got out. Oh well. He's probably not going to go back in. Okay, so you'll notice that if you move on the road, you go really fast. So let's stay on the road. Oh, real quick. Use your hands on trees that have fruit to pick them. Alright, so over here we have a little mini game. It's meant for more than one person to play. Help, I need some people to clear out the roaches in my basement. I only reward the best. ... So the idea is that multiple people will go down here at the same time, and the goal is to kill as many roaches as you can and collect the most antenna that you can. At the end of 60 seconds, whoever has the most antenna wins. So there's already another antenna here. So the goal, if you were to play smart, you would just be running around collecting all the antenna, and then once it's all gone, you kill some roaches by simply moving into them to attack and pick up what they drop. If you open up the chat menu, you can see the timer on the bottom right. And you see that I have about 21 antenna in my inventory. I'll stop there. And I'm about to be warped away. And the antenna's taken away, and I'm warped into the winning zone. If I were to have lost, I'd have been warped to the lava pit and die shortly after. So that's a fun little minigame. Just show you that real quick. If I'm standing here, I take damage, and I eventually die and go back to the spawn point. Oh, is he gonna go back in? Probably not. Go right, go right. Go. Let's keep him boxed in. Alright, he'll go back in eventually. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Oh, some roaches got out. Oh, so items, like I said, they change over time. Those trees will eventually grow, and these items decay quite quickly. So when we stay here, you'll see that the skeleton will go away pretty soon, and that blood just disappeared. The skeleton is almost completely gone. There's still an item there. You can kind of barely see it. Barely. And it's gone. Okay, let's move on to the last part I want to show you. This is it's a dungeon, and it just spawns random monsters in every room you walk in. So it's pretty small, it's just a couple of rooms. So you walk in here, and a number of random monsters of the same type spawn. And once you kill all of them, some more spawn. Ooh, what are the chances the same exact creature spawn? There's about, how many? I didn't check, but I think there's around 800 monsters. So it's kind of odd that the same monster spawned twice. Okay, moving on. Go through this small hallway. We'll get some spawns. Oh, that dropped a lot of potions. Which aren't implemented yet, but they look nice. Nice colors. So I'll pick them up. Okay, to the last room. This is where most spawn at the same time. Dino Keepers. So the combat's really not implemented at all at the moment. It's really hacked in, but this will be a feature that will be given a lot of attention in a couple months' time. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's all the information you need to know to check out Gridia in its current build. Stay tuned for another episode where I show you how you can customize the server and add any kind of graphics or any kind of items, monsters, whatever, into your world.